Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode recap and thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the A segment of episode 17 of the Loud House, House Music. We begin this segment with all 11 Loud siblings gathered together to figure out what to do for the talent show for the family fun fair, which will be occurring on the day that this segment takes place in, but not until nighttime. After a few suggestions are made, Luna eventually decides to try a family band out. The rest of the siblings point out that, unlike Luna, they don't have a talent for music-related activities. But Luna assures them it's no issue because her idol, Mick Swagger, always says that rock and roll isn't about being the best, but having fun while you do it. So this convinces the rest of the siblings to go along with Luna's idea. So they're all gathered in the garage now, and most of them are playing instruments. Mr. Loud shows up. He thinks two animals are fighting. That was what he thought the sound was. But then when he hears about the idea of the family band, he comments that he used to be in a band back in his college days, and he apparently played the cowbell. But we get a flashback which shows the other band members didn't like the cowbell, so they kicked him out, and he was devastated. His offspring feel sympathy for him, and they offer him the chance to take part in their band as well. Mr. Loud's quite excited about it, and he gets his cowbell ready to play. And it seems like they all are having a good time. Then Luna receives a call, so she has to step outside so she can hear more clearly. It's her roadie Chunk, who explains that he just heard that Mick Swagger is in Royal Woods right now, and he's scouting for talent. Hearing about this, Luna becomes excited at the prospect of having her talent recognized by her idol. But then as she looks back to seeing her family, she starts to think maybe they need to improve their music skills. It's at this point where Luna starts to get a little more carried away about making sure that they're better than they actually are with their music skills. Turns out Lenny doesn't have an instrument, so Luna suggests she be a backup singer, but at first Lenny thinks you actually sing backup. But then when Luna says you sing what's on the page, let's just say that Luna takes the saying "sing what's on the page" too literally. And Mr. Loud is really into his cowbell, but unfortunately, Luna just can't handle it all, and she snaps, and she actually kicks Mr. Loud out of the band. He runs out devastated. The other siblings call Luna out on this, but Luna says that he was too embarrassing to be scouted by Mick Swagger. Lincoln, however, comments that Luna says it's not about being the best, as she herself had just said not too long ago. But Luna's changed her mind about that and now insists that they be the best at it. And when the other siblings, call her out on this again, she tries to kick them out of the band, only for them to retaliate and kick her out of the band instead. Luna, though, doesn't care. She says they just hold her back as she storms off into her room to try and play some music and to come up with some songs. But she's having a hard time coming up with something that she feels is worthy of Mick Swagger, and she hears her other siblings having fun. She decides that maybe a change of scenery would be better. So she heads off to a restaurant, and as she's still coming up with lyrics, one of the tossed paper balls she throws accidentally lands in the food of a gentleman he has a beard, sunglasses, a trench coat, a hat, and she apologizes to the man, but he assures her that no harm was done, and he actually even offers to lend Luna some help when he hears about her troubles with music, and he even offers her some of his food too. Luna explains her current predicament, and The man recognizes Mick Swagger's name, and he also recognizes that Mick Swagger's motto was about rock and roll not being about being the best, but about having fun. And he brings up a good question to Luna. He asks her when was the last time she had fun. Luna thinks back, and it was back when they were all having fun before she found out about Mick Swagger being in the area. That was the moment. Having this realization, Luna thanks the man, but says that she needs to leave to make things right. It's now the time of the family fun fair, and Mrs. Loud is wishing the rest of the siblings luck. Luna soon arrives, and she apologizes for acting like a jerk and letting the idea of being scouted for her talent get the better of her, and hoping to make amends with her siblings. Her siblings do accept her apology, and they do admit that it wouldn't be a family band without her. But Luna decides that they still need some more members. She goes to see Mr. Loud, who's on a whirl and twirl, or the ride he goes on when he's sad, and Luna apologizes to him and assures him that she wants him part of the band. Mr. Loud accepts the apology, and he's ready to demonstrate his cowbell skills. And Luna even wants their mom, Mrs. Loud, to take part in the contest as well. Mrs. Loud admits she's not very good at music, but Luna assures her that it's not important for what they're trying to do. So we actually get to see the Loud family all perform in a band, and Luna even gets a solo towards the end, but she even allows Mr. Loud the chance to have his solo. She wanted him to have more cowbell, to give a cowbell solo. And he does so with great energy. At the end, once they finished up their performance, the man from the restaurant actually is there, and he congratulates Luna for a job well done, saying how it looked like she had a lot of fun out there. She thanks the man again for the help that he gave, and she also was disappointed that Mick Swagger didn't even show up. The man says that isn't the case, though, as he pulls back his beard and lifts up his sunglasses to reveal he was Mick Swagger all along. He also reveals his identity to Mr. Loud as he comes by, and the segment ends with Luna and Mr. Loud both awestruck at seeing Mick Swagger as he complimented them for their respective solos, as well as the overall performance of the family. Now, this segment really stands out because it's a very big milestone because it has something that's the first of what hasn't happened in the show yet at this point. Namely, this is the first time where a character besides Lincoln is the viewpoint character, or that is to say the character we follow through their perspective. In this case, it was Luna. And Lincoln actually more took a back seat in this segment. He didn't really have, not necessarily even a spotlight role. It was more just Luna was the focus, really, actually, one of the parents played an important role in this segment, too. Mr. Loud, given his past history with a band and the trauma that he relived when Luna kicked him out. But it was also, what made this segment enjoyable was that it was an example that showed, the other characters are capable of having their moments of being selfish and having their moments of being in the wrong, but also owning up to their mistakes and making a change for the better. And that's what we got here. Most fans seem to consider Luna to be one of the nicer of the Loud sisters, but here she was the selfish one. She was the one who caused the problem of the segment because she let the prospect of getting scouted get the better of her and make her ignore her own idol's motto about how having fun is more important. And while we're on the subject of her idol, this was kind of where we got a better idea of what kind of character Mick Swagger was like. And I think he's a nice guy. He was really likable, and yeah, it seemed he really wasn't an arrogant jerk of a star. He actually was sincere. If you have fun, that's what's important. So, yeah, it was a good character, and I'm glad he was able to help Luna out there. And, yeah, I did like the cowbell joke with Mr. Loud. But otherwise, yeah, so this was what set the trend, because you probably noticed for most of the first season, and even with some of the future first season segments, there aren't too many others where a character besides Lincoln is the viewpoint character. There's maybe one or two others, depending on how you look at it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but it's in season 2 is when we start to see more of that, when that becomes more the norm to have segments where a character besides Lincoln is the viewpoint character. And even in season 2, we also get characters that aren't part of the Loud family who get to be the viewpoint characters. So this was perhaps an experiment to see if it was successful, if they could do a segment with a different character besides Lincoln as a viewpoint character. And yeah, I say they were successful at it. And it is good that they are starting to branch out and focus on other characters besides Lincoln, even though he is the main character. It is good to have, it's nice to have moments where you can get inside the head of other characters. So I definitely like this segment. I thought it was a good start to how they branched out beyond just focusing on Lincoln. And it was nice to have a segment that also gave one of the Loud parents a lot of focus, since at least in the first season they didn't have as much of a role compared to season 2. As to be expected, we'll be covering the B segment next. Take care, and until next time.